So happy you're here. We are joined, as always, by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group of Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Red Apron at Union Market and Merrifield, also the Evening Star Cafe and Planet Wine in Delray. Greg, it is always good to see you.
See you too.
What's on tap this week?
This week we have a beer, another collaboration beer. This one is between Boulevard Brewing Company, where the beer was actually brewed, and Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. It's called Terra Incognita. And for those of you who attended Savor in 2012 in Washington, D.C., this beer will look familiar to you because, in fact, it was brewed originally to be the Savor beer of 2012. So everybody who went to Savor in 2012 at the National Building Museum was given one of these bottles as a takeaway gift. They've thankfully rebrewed it because I had it then and it was amazing, and it is once more, and for a small but national release, and it's a wonderful beer. The idea came first to kind of get two breweries from opposite ends of the California Trail. So you've got Sierra and Chico, you've got Boulevard in Kansas City, and then this encompasses the West, the Terra Incognita, the uncharted lands of the West, and they've kind of fittingly brewed an earthy beer that definitely is funky but also roasty. It is something that is complexly malted and aged in whiskey barrels for 3 months, where it picks up some oak characteristics as well as a really cool funky note. Even before we taste, you'll see all the lace on the glass here. It is re-fermented, as many of Boulevard's beers are, in the bottle. So it pours a really great kind of creamy effervescence, and it takes some time for it to dissipate, and it leaves this beautiful lacing. So really great for the aroma.
Smells delightfully refreshing. Well, that's real nice, and the funkiness is really mild. So for really people who just want to get in on the ground level of maybe funky beers.
Yeah, it's not too crazy yet. However, it's unfiltered, unpasteurized, bottle conditioned. This is going to evolve over time. Okay. So if you lay some of this down, and we'll get it's pretty dry now, but it'll get drier, more acidic, and more funky over time. But as it is now, in the nose, you get that little bit of the Brettanomyces influence, funky quality, hints of dark fruit, almost like strawberry or cherry pie qualities in the nose, touch of acidity on the palate as well. And even a little bit of you see the darkness here, there is a touch of roast to this. It's got a little bit of a cocoa quality going on.
What would you pair this with?
This is something that, well, I think it can go with a good amount of things. I mean, obviously big meats. It's got a winey quality to it, so we could do that. Then if you grill some meat, you get that grill effect that would be echoed by the roast here. So steaks on the grill, things like that.
Peppercorn
would be awesome. Yeah. Poivre, it'd be amazing. Yeah. But also, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I think that this could work with pizza, but specifically with tomato-laden pizza, even something as crazy as like a deep dish. Because with tomatoes, they're tough for pairing sometimes because of their acid. But you've got acid here, and the acid will kind of neutralize the tomato's acid. You've got a dryness that can dig into the richness of cheese. And then also you think about like sausage and things like that would work nicely with the roastier notes here. So I think that could work pretty cool.
I think I need a little more. Seriously, talking about collaborations, and which you have done, been involved in a lot of Blue Jacket collaborations. I know you go into it with an idea of what you want the beer to taste like when it's finished. How often does it sort of come out quite a bit different, yet you're still happy with the result?
That's a good,
and then how do you retrace your steps backwards? But
another good point too. A lot of the things you got to realize too is collaboration beers are some of the only beers in the industry that normally don't go through test brews. Okay. So to your point, the way these things work typically now is you get on the phone or more likely email, and you come up with what kind of styles we want to brew, and then one of the two brewers will say, or more, well, here's an idea I had for a recipe. And typically it'll be the home brewery because they know what they have on hand or what they can get, things like that. But then, the other brewers will say, oh, that sounds good, but I've had luck using this, or use that, or this and that, and then you get this evolved recipe. Now, brewers are very smart, and they have lots of experience. So it's very rarely flying blind unless they're doing something completely new for both of them. And typically, the beer will be either something that will incorporate aspects of the technique or ingredients that either one or both brewers have experience with. So even though it'll be something totally new, they have an idea of what to expect from the moves they're going to make. Now, when a brewery comes out with a new year-round beer, definitely, and even a lot of times they come out with one-off beers, they will typically do smaller test batches or even larger test batches of the beer and adjust before coming out with the one that they want to say is this is the one we want to release. So with collaborations, you don't see that as much. So at the end of the day, I'd say that based on the knowledge and experience and smarts of brewers, the beers, we pretty much can tell based on experience and what we're using, what the beer will taste like. And so, I mean, as I said, Blue Jacket's done 20 collaborations. We've got more coming up. Most of the time, the beers taste pretty exactly like we imagined they would. That's not to say that we might not learn something and say, well, this is right, and it makes sense based on how we did it. So maybe if we wanted to tweak this one thing, next time we would just change this. And so I'm excited for Blue Jacket too, because we are going to rebrew some of our collaborations, and we get to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, do we love it as was? Most of the time, yes, but maybe we want to play with it a little bit and see what comes out.
Now, you've been to California, Belgium, Florida, I know, for collaboration
all up and
work.
down the East Coast.
Have you kept a track of how many miles?
No, that's something I should do, put it on the website. Yeah, 20 of them so far, so it's been a lot.
If you've got a question for Greg, please let us know. He will answer it for you. The email is beeroftheweek@WTOP.com. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do be sure to drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.